I used to think that worry was proof that I cared about the things that mattered most to me. Like lying awake at 2 a.m., running through every worst case scenario for my family's future, like meant that I really cared because I was trying to be considerate and plan ahead. But here's what I learned. That worry wasn't preparation. It wasn't proof that I cared. It was actually just an energy thief. You know, it's stealing the exact focus that you need to show up as you today for your kids and for your business and in your career. So in this video, I want to share with you 3 really powerful ways that I've learned to stop wasting your energy on tomorrow's problems and start really investing in the authentic action that you can take today. And this is the kind of action that will build the future that you want, that you're trying to get to, or that you've been worrying about if you'll ever get there. Now, before we do that, let me just say welcome to the Giver Method channel. If you are new here, my name is Jake. I'm so glad you're able to join me. Now, I like to tee these videos up with a question that really might hit home for you. Sometimes it's a gut check for people when I ask these questions. You know, have you ever found yourself, stuck in those mental loops? I've been there before, where you're in the loop thinking about, what could go wrong tomorrow? Maybe you're replaying the worst case scenarios while actual life is happening right in front of you. Or maybe, I don't know, you're exhausted from carrying the problems that, don't even exist yet. Like you're living 6 months ahead instead of being present for the people that matter most to you. Or maybe you told yourself that, hey, if you stop worrying, you're being irresponsible. Like you're going to miss something really important, or you're going to drop the ball. If any of those sound like you or resonate in any way, let me just say this. That's not, irresponsible. You're not failing. You're not behind or anything. But the thing you are doing is you are running, like you're truly running on empty. Because worry is draining the very energy you need to actually show up and build the future that you want. I call it, that worry is like, it's an energy thief. Like it's taking it directly from you. Your brain is burning fuel on these imaginary scenarios, while the real opportunities to make impact and growth and have the life you want, the ones right here, right now are in front of you, they stay untouched. For parents, that might look like lying awake like myself, like I was at 2 a.m., stressing about, your kid's future while missing the bedtime story moments that actually shape who they become. As maybe an entrepreneur, you're obsessing over every possible way the business could fail while freezing on the bold moves that could actually help you to grow. And for employees, it's rehearsing like performance reviews, months in advance for the current projects you're working on, the ones that, could move your career forward. Like you're not focused on those ones. You're not focused on things that would actually make an impact. You're so worried about that review that's in 6 months and how that's going to make an impact. The ones that matter the most aren't getting your attention. Once again, this isn't about being proactive or responsible in any sort of way. It's about realizing that worry doesn't prepare you at all. It actually weakens you. It makes you less capable to handle the real challenges when they finally do show up. And so we're going to dive deep into that. Now, I did say my name is Jake, but I'll just introduce myself a little bit more. My name is Jake Talbert. I'm the author. I'm the founder of this book. It's called The Giver Method. Came out 10 months ago around Thanksgiving. And since coming out, it has become an Amazon bestseller. Thousands of people purchased it. It has tons of 5-star reviews. I highly recommend you get yourself a copy. So I've put a link to it down in the description where you can get it on Amazon. Right now, you can get it for as little as $2, $1.99. It's the best $2 you can invest in yourself. The reason why so many people love it, why it's getting so many 5-star reviews, is that it is grounded in stories from my life that align very much to a lot of yours. I'm a parent of 3. I'm a father of 3. I'm an entrepreneur. I've worked in that corporate atmosphere in the sea of cubicles. We're going to talk a little bit about that here in a moment from my corporate days. And everything that we touch, the action items, exercises, things like that, they're meant for people like you who already have a busy schedule so that you can discover these unique gift superpowers you have and create the impact you want to make, show up and live more authentically day to day, have better relationships, live a more fulfilled life, invite excitement and delight back into your life finally. So I recommend, that's the $2 to get happiness and delight in your life and really make greater impact in the world. You can't beat that. So there's, like I said, link down below. Click to get it on Amazon for as little as $2. Or you can pause the video and go just look up The Giver Method by Jake Talbert. Like that's the other way. Now, one of those stories like that I know, because I've been through this firsthand, was like back when I was in those corporate days, I spent years consumed by the reviews, okay? There was these like quarterly check-ins that we would do, and then there was like a semi-annual review, where you could move up in pay or down in pay. There was also like restructuring rumors and, downsizing rumors, all sorts of things. All of those things, I thought the worry was protecting me. I was getting ready for what might come. But what I found is that my best results, not only at work, but at home, like didn't come from the mental rehearsing of whatever disaster never came. They came when I just focused all my energy on showing up authentically with my gifts and being present. And the irony is my performance, like, you know, and my peace of mind that I had both got better when I stopped living these imaginary futures and just started contributing right where I was. How do I just be the person? How do I show up as dad as best as possible, as the best husband when I walk in the door? How do I show up with my natural gifts and superpowers in the work I'm doing day to day? I didn't restructure my world. I just started being more intentional with the things I could contribute as authentically as possible. Now, I love in the book and when I do these videos to do tons of research to help back whatever we're talking about. So there is tons of data that backs us as well. University of Pennsylvania found that 85% of what we worry about never actually happens. And for the 15% that actually does, we usually handle it better than we ever thought we would. You know, if we haven't already drained ourselves by rehearsing through all the fake disasters, we actually have the energy to move through those things. You know, so the big truth is authentic action today using those gifts, it creates the better future outcomes than the worry ever could. So that's why we're going to dive into it. I'm going to walk you through really 3 simple but really powerful strategies that help parents and entrepreneurs and employees like you redirect this worry energy into the present impact. And once again, these aren't like, fluffy tips or woo things like, just think positive or whatever. Like, no, it has nothing to do with that. This is real tools to put in place in your busy life without wasting energy and things like that. So now here's the payoff. When you use your gifts in real time with real people, you not only make a bigger impact now, but you actually become the version of yourself who will crush tomorrow's challenges in every sort of way. Like I said, everything we're talking about is grounded in the GIVER method, so you can go get yourself a copy. You can find more details about it at thegivermethod.com. Find us on all the social medias. Go follow us, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, under the handle of the GIVER method. And then, if you are looking for one-on-one attention and this sort of thing, I actually have some one-on-one coaching positions we've opened up, and I'd love to get you a chance to go check out the page, see the details about how it might work for you, and if it makes sense to book a call so that we could talk about what that looks like. At the same time, if you have a community, host an event, a podcast, anything where this message would resonate with your people, let's talk about how we could bring it to them in a very real and authentic way. And of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, all those things so that the future content we have shows up for you, and then comment any of your takeaways or your thoughts along the way. So let's see, with that, we covered all the pieces. So let's jump in and start turning that wasted worry into wisdom that you can use right now where you are. And so the first strategy, what I want you to think about, is when you think about separating real problems, that need action from those imaginary ones that drain your energy. So this is like the worry transformation. Like need to have some sort of a protocol or a system or a process for doing that. All right. So we're going to dive deep into this. So something most people get completely wrong about that worry. They treat every anxious thought as if it deserves that equal attention, and energy to others. But there's a huge difference between productive planning and the destructive worry I've been talking about. Until you learn to separate them, you're going to keep wasting precious mental resources on the problems that don't even exist right now. So that's where this, the worry transformation, getting into some sort of a method, a protocol, a system of doing that helps you to distinguish between real concerns that need your attention and those really imaginary scenarios that are just stealing your energy. And once again, I don't want to dismiss legitimate planning or things that are actually problems, but it's about being strategic where you invest your mental and emotional resources. So here's how this works. Here's what I'm trying to think about. When worry hits you, immediately create 2 lists. I don't want this to be we're just doing pro-con lists, right? Think about this, pull out a note app on your phone or grab a piece of paper, a journal, whatever, and write down problems I can act on today. That's going to be one side. And the other side is going to be problems that don't exist yet. And what you want to do is you have to be brutally, ruthlessly honest about this distinction. The ones I can actually take some action about today, and the ones I can't do. The real problem has very specific details, immediate relevance, and requires actual steps that you can take. The imaginary problem is vague and future focused and based on all the what-if scenarios that may never actually materialize. So make that list, and then for everything on the act on today list, identify one maybe specific action that you could take in the next 24 hours. And if you can use your natural gifts and superpowers as a part of that, even better. If you're worried about your teenagers, your teenagers' college prospects or whatever, well, the real action might be having a conversation about their interests. If you're concerned about your business and finances, the real action might be reviewing your numbers and making one client contact today. Everything that's on that problems that don't exist yet, you just have to practice like what I call there's the worry containment. We're gonna put a box around it. Okay, acknowledge the concern. Like, okay, I get it. That could happen. It could. Acknowledge it, and then redirect that mental energy to present moment opportunities. Like, these imaginary problems get exactly zero energy outside of the brief daily planning window where it's like, okay, it could happen. High beams, sure, something could happen there, but I'm not even gonna worry about it, because even if it is, here's what I can do right now today to move forward. Most people spend all that time worrying about things. Like the research that I mentioned in the early part of the video, the 85%, worry about, put all that worry and energy, but like 15% of the problems that don't actually, that are outside their control, like the things that actually come true. Like, gosh, when you just start investing your energy in real actions that you can take today, using your authentic gifts and superpowers, those authentic abilities you have, you're not just reducing anxiety, you're building the actual capabilities and relationships to prevent the real problems that you're thinking about from occurring, because you actually took steps to resolve it. And then our second one, so now that's the first one, that's first strategy or principle. Second one, you have to convert the worry into present moments, and especially focus around your gifts and superpowers. So think about it this way. I call it the tomorrow trade. All right. How do you turn worry into wins today? And it's a trap that we all fall into. We've all been there. We let tomorrow steal from today. Every time that you run that same loop back in your head, what if my presentation tanks? What if my kid isn't ready for the real world? What if we lose that client? You're actually scattering your gifts across a bunch of imaginary scenarios that don't exist yet. No wonder you're drained before your day even starts. Now, the tomorrow trade that I'm talking about here is about flipping that script. Instead of letting the worry scatter you in any sort of way, you're going to funnel that energy into clear actions today that use natural strengths, and stop feeding the imaginary fires and start fueling real progress. Now, how it works is, first, write down what the specific worry is that's been circling in your brain. Don't just say, hey, everything will go wrong, it's all going to burn down, everything's terrible. No, be real about it. And maybe it's like, hey, my presentation might flop. My teenager isn't ready for what's ahead, or I might lose that big client. Those are very real things I hear from people. Ask yourself, what's the real care, the thing that I care and value underneath this? Because every worry has seed of good intention that's hiding underneath it. You don't want your presentation to bomb. You care about creating value. You don't want your kid to struggle. You care about them growing strong and confident. You want to lose the client. It's not that. You care about serving them well, and that they, even if they leave, that they leave happy, and connected with you. Once you see the care, the thing you value, then here comes the trade. You pick one action. Weird. Going back to principle and strategy number one, you're going to pick one action that you can take today that uses a gift that you have that meets that real concern. If you're wired for preparation, maybe spend 20 minutes tightening, your presentation, your outline, or whatever. If encouragement is your thing, take 5-minute conversation with your child that builds their confidence right in this moment. If you're relationship driven, shoot your client some sort of a quick video, use your phone or whatever, a thoughtful check-in that reminds them why you work together in the first place. The rules are simple here. The action has to happen today. That's it. Pick one thing. It has to come from your own authentic strengths. And it has to address the heart of what you actually cared about. Why you even why it's something you would even worry about. You got to address that. That's the trade. You give tomorrow's imaginary problem the exchange for today's real contribution and value that you're creating. And it's a massive game changer for you, because it breaks the lie that worry equals preparation. That worry drains your, it's going to just drain your energy without building capacity. Action, taking any little step, on the other hand, builds both confidence and momentum. And the more that you practice the tomorrow trade, the more evidence your brain collects that your contribution beats consumption every single time. And before long, worry stops feeling like responsibility, and it feels you're going to start seeing it and as that wasted time. And the truth is, the best preparation for tomorrow isn't worry. It's showing up today with your gifts in the places that matter the most to you. Hopefully this is starting to hit home for you. Now, our third area is the daily gift reset. How you turn your worry into real impact. Because this whole idea of worry, it's a sneaky thing. And something sneaky about worry is that it tricks you into feeling like you're doing something. You're lying there at night, you're running through the scenarios, your brain's like, well, look, we're being responsible, right? But let's be honest, you're not being responsible. You're ruminating, imagining, and you're burning energy without moving anything forward. So this daily gift reset, it's designed to flip that. Instead of letting the worry spin out these imaginary disasters, you channel the same carrying energy into something real, right, that you can do right here and right now. Weird. Taking action right away. That's how you solve it. It's not about suppressing the worry, because the worry is real, and worry will never go away because we care about things and we want the best things, and we're programmed as humans to think through the negatives. But it's about redirecting it into contribution that actually matters. So once again, here's how it works. Each morning, before you check your email or scroll the headlines or you dive into the day's chaos, complete this sentence. Like, just think about it this way. You're gonna write out the sentence. Today, I'm going to use my gift of blank, whatever it is. I'm going to use empathy, active listening, calming the chaos. I'm, solving complex, or whatever, to help whoever. Fill in the blank of who you'd to help my kids, to help my employees, my coworkers, my team, my boss, whatever. And then it's by whatever action you can take. Today, I'm going to use my gift of blank to help blank by doing blank, and keep it simple and specific. So like, here's a couple of examples I wrote out just because I wanted to give you real examples, because the blanks can be weird. Today, hey, I'm going to use my gift of encouragement to help my teenager by telling them one thing I admire about them before school. Or today, I'm going to use my gift of clarity to help my team by simplifying the messiness of the project steps we're working on. Today, I'm going to use my gift of connection to help my client by sending a quick check-in that shows I care more about them than just the transaction of being a client of ours. Once again, it becomes an anchor for your day because, guess what? Worry, it will pop up. It does. Your mind jumps ahead for college applications, revenues dipping, whether your manager noticed you or whatever, and when that happens, instead of spiraling, you come back and you reset and ask yourself, okay, how will I use one of my gifts right now? And then you do something small and immediate. Just go do something about it. Send that one text, organize the drawer, solve the tiny problem. Whatever, 5 minutes of action beats 5 hours of an anxious loop. Trust me, I've been hit by so many anxiety attacks that could be debilitating and crippling. And by taking just small little actions, your brain checks out of it. The magic isn't the size of the action you take, it's the direction of the energy. Worry, if you worry about your child's future, becomes, your presence with them today. Anxiety about your business, survival, becomes extra value for the people, already paying attention. Fear about your job security becomes proof of your abilities, that you're in the work, sitting at your desk, you're there. I'm here, I'm knocking things out. It's very transformative for people because your brain starts to learn that carrying energy doesn't have to fuel your anxiety. It can fuel action. It's not that you care less, you're actually carrying better. You're not ignoring tomorrow, you're investing in it through the actions you take today. And when this is like a ritual and it becomes automatic, worry stops running the show. It stops burning the energy of all the what ifs, and it starts building confidence through the hey, I did this thing. And here's what it's leading to. And that shift makes you more present with your family, and more effective as a business owner, and more valuable in your career. Now, as we kind of piece these things together, this is just part one. I'm going to be recording a part two of this that dives deeper into more actions that you can look for. But as we bring this all together, if I want you to remember one thing from this video, it says worry is wasted energy. And the way you get that energy back is putting things into action, real action today, with the gifts and superpowers you already have. That's why I said it's not about burning everything down, moving to the woods to go find yourself. It's about just putting things into action where you are now. Now, the three things that we covered today, you learn to spot the difference between the problem and the imaginary. Instead of carrying that stress in your back, trade it for small action, and finally anchor yourself in with your daily gifts. Once again, it's not about managing anxiety at all. It's about changing the way you show up for your kids and for your business and for your work, and honestly for yourself. When you start living by this way, you stop burning energy on all the what-if scenarios, and you start building confidence and capability and deeper connection. That's the stuff that creates the future you want. And the real kicker is, the more that you use your gifts and superpowers right now in real life with real people, the more you become the person who naturally handles tomorrow's challenges with more calm and wisdom and confidence. That's a true shift. That's the real win. And if you're sitting here thinking, Jake, yeah, this makes sense, but I want more ways to lock this in. Great, that's why I'm going to do a part two. A series that I may be dropping maybe later today or maybe tomorrow. It's going to share, I have 4 more strategies to help you track your progress, build proof that works for you, and turn this into a habit that sticks for good. So hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any of that sort of thing. If you want to dive deeper into it right now, then go get yourself a copy of the Giver Method on Amazon. Like I said, $2. That's the best investment you can make in yourself. It's going to walk you step by step through how to use your gifts, create real peace and impact instead of living in these worry loops. And then, like I said, if you're someone that needs that one-on-one support, check out the link below. It talks about coaching. And then if you have a community, a team, a podcast, an event, whatever, where we could bring this type of message to them, then check out the link about speaking and podcasting where we can learn more about that. Before you go, drop a comment. Which of these things hit home for you? Separating the real versus imaginary, trading tomorrow's worries, or your daily gift activation. Are you? Which one are you most ready to put into play now? Which one gives you the direction you needed? I read every single comment, and I'd love to hear from you which of them they are, so we can start to take that progress forward for you. Remember, like anything else, your peace and your future aren't built on stressing about tomorrow. They're built by how you choose to show up today, using your gifts. Take action that's right in front of you right now. That's how you're going to create the future that you've been hoping for, not through worry, but through your presence. And with that, I'll just tell you to have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you in our next video. Have a good one.